Good morning. Well, this is the time to begin thinking about change of seasons. Now, I know that when I say that, you're thinking about the change of season having to do with summer turning into fall and cooler weather ahead, but there are other seasonal changes afoot as well. Take our winged wildlife, for example. Most birds either have raised their young by now or they are in the finishing days and weeks of doing so and kicking them out of the nest. Some birds are beginning to molt, that is, lose feathers in preparation for growing a new set of feathers that's going to protect them during the cold winter months. And soon we will be seeing more of the migrating birds hit our neighborhoods for anywhere from maybe a few hours to several days, while they rest up a bit, stoke up on food, and find decent water. Those birds who have been with us for the summer will, in some cases, migrate away from here, and we won't see them again until next spring. And I'm thinking there specifically about our Mississippi kites, which are numerous in our neighborhood, but there are other bird species as well. School is beginning shortly, or has already begun, and that's a change of season. Both public and private schools have first days of classes this week or possibly the first of next. Homeschoolers also have their own first day photos and celebrations. Another calendar year, another school year. That is, in a very real way, a change of season. Vacation days are coming to an end. Yes, I know some can vacation during the fall and winter months, but most of us either like to or must do that during the summer months when the kids are out of school and it's easier to get to places without having to deal with the snow and the ice. Oh, there's one more change that comes around these few weeks in late July and early August. The runners come out. The runners. You've seen them. They are teens who are usually running in a park, along the river, on sidewalks, or maybe running on a track somewhere. They usually don't run alone, but they're in some kind of a group. Most of the time you can hear chatter as they run, especially if it's a group of teen girls. Now, they don't run fast, but they do run for endurance. They're cross-country participants, I'm guessing, and they're getting in shape for competition that begins this fall, along with the normal football programs that most schools have. These kids are going to run miles every day, unfazed by the distance that they've already run and the distance that they have to go. And that amazes me. I never was a cross-country runner and ran the mile only once in my life during my freshman year of high school for phys ed, and that's because I had to. I sometimes am sitting out on my back patio when these kids go by in the park on the path that's just behind our house. They're in a pack of anywhere from 3 to 12 and seem to be effortlessly, there you go, running at an endurance pace, chatting with each other as they go. Or I'll see them along or near the river downtown when I'm out and about. It's the same thing, a pack of several, enjoying the time with each other or running to get and stay in shape for the upcoming cross-country season. West High School isn't that far away from where I usually travel downtown, and I'm assuming that most of them are either from that school or at least live in nearby housing neighborhoods. These young people probably don't stop to appreciate just what their bodies are capable of doing and how effortlessly they can run 6 to 8 miles an hour for long distances. You know, I'm a little jealous, actually, as I watch, knowing that my running days are largely over. And even if I do go into a trot, it's not very long until, well, certain body parts begin to hurt more and my breaths become very labored. The last time I ran, I was out in the park behind our house on my evening walk when it began to rain. Of course, I was as far from the house as I normally would be on my walking route when the rain began. So I began to quickly walk in the sprinkling rain, which soon became more of a downpour. I became concerned for my hearing aids getting wet, so I took them off and put them in my handkerchief, which was still somewhat dry, and carried them wrapped up in my fist. And yes, I do check the weather and the local radar before I go out. At the time I left the house, there wasn't any rain within 30 miles of me. This rain cloud evidently had formed and started downpouring in about 10 to 15 minutes time, pretty much just overhead. Well, I was about 200 yards from the house, and even though I was soaked, I decided to try to run a short distance. Surprisingly, I made it almost the entire 200 yards before I became winded and had to walk the rest of the way. Now, I didn't run fast, maybe 5 to 6 miles an hour. That's about the limit of my speed nowadays when running. I'm happy to see these young people out running, even though there's a tinge of jealousy when I do. It pleases me to see that they're working to keep in shape, and even though they appear to be chatting and having a good time while practicing, they really are doing some of the hard things in life. Cross country isn't easy. Both of our boys ran it in high school. It takes endurance, commitment, energy, drive, and sweat. The public rewards aren't great because football takes all the glamour and the glory in the fall. Not many people get out and watch the cross-country meets. So the next time you see a gaggle of teens casually running down the sidewalk or maybe along a path, you can probably assume they're in the cross-country program, or maybe they're getting ready for the football program. Smile a little and offer some private encouragement. And if you have a mind to, pray for their safety and their health this fall. Blessings.